Here's a new Buckaroos. How the heck are you? I'm going to be telling the Beer Whisperer and the Whiskey Whisperer for the purposes of this video. Just got off work a little bit ago. This is my first alcohol of the day, believe it or not, man. Um, I've got the 7.5% Doppeldunkel from Banter Brewing. Doppeldunkel, yeah, the brewer freely admits he kind of made up the style. But he had an idea to just take that Dunkel, which was very popular, and just kind of, horsepower it up a little bit, and the beer is just amazing. So, anyways, I digress. I also decided to pour myself an ounce and a half even. So last night I had the Wood Hat Cast Strength Bloody Butcher Red Corn Whiskey. It is a single barrel whiskey. So I had a friend had given me a bottle of this one here, and this is the one I drank last night. Just bottle or barrel number 559 at 60.7% alcohol. That's the one I drank last night. So I decided to drink the one that I purchased. As you can see, I've got a little more in there. It's at 60.3, so slightly less. The barrel number is 1003. So I just wanted to show you the difference between the two. And I made the comment last night that if I didn't know, hey, Todd, how are you, brother? Good to see you. I made the comment last night that if I didn't know, I mean, if I had them both blind, I wouldn't have thought it was the same whiskey because they are just vastly different. Even the nose isn't even close to the same. I was mentioning corn and peanuts for aroma yesterday. I do remember that. And you don't feel that at all with this one, really. I pick up more cinnamon on the nose and definitely more spice for sure. Kind of a brown sugar sweetness because you feel a little bit of molasses, maybe a hint of maple as well. Hope you and your wife are doing well, Todd. Mercy. I had a big beer I was going to have, a bigger than 7.5%. So now we're just going to have this one to start with. I've been trying to purge some things. I have stuff that's been there longer than this one, but I thought, now this would be a perfect one to get started with anyway. So even the mouthfeel is different here. Wow, it is much spicier, much spicier. Yeah, we're good, man. Do we head into the Thanksgiving holiday? I've got the next 3 days off. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I work Wednesday, but then I'm off to Thursday and Friday. So I'm gonna relax a little bit now. I've been working a little stretch, so I'm really tired. But I thought I'd do a little video too because I don't have to get up. Well, I'm off tomorrow, like I said, so I don't have to get up tomorrow early. And let's have some of this. I do enjoy this Doppeldunkel, a very malty, as you might expect, but it does, it does come at you different than a Doppelbock does. And he had made a Doppelbock spring. That beer was just insanely good too. But again, the beers are vastly different. The Doppelbock and the Doppeldunkel are not the same beer. It's really freaking good. It's really good, man. I really like it. I probably won't, because it's just going to be the wife and I, Todd. So I don't know what we're going to do, to be honest with you. For a little bit there, I thought we might just go out of town for a couple of days since I am off the Thursday and Friday. But we don't know if we'll do that after all. I was kind of in the mood to do it at one point, and then we just aren't sure. So I don't know. So we might just kind of get away from everybody for a little bit. So I'm not sure if I'll do a turkey or not. I got a couple other options. Meat I have in the freezer. I've got some good thick pork chops I could do something with because, like I said, it's just the wife and I. Also got a good pot roast up there, so we could go a few different directions. Sometimes we do things really different on Thanksgiving. One year I even did a prime rib. And like I said, because it's going to be us too, I don't know that we'll do much of anything. Our daughter usually has to go to the in-laws, but there's certain foods that they don't make that her mother and I do. So a lot of times, even though she has to go over there on Thanksgiving Day, she'll put in a request for us to make specific items for her to have either later that day or the next day. There's certain traditional items that we've always fixed. There's one particular thing that I'm not even sure why I made it one year. It was just supposed to be a one-time thing, and it turned out that she really likes it. So now I'm forced to make this thing every year. But it's basically it's a macaroni salad, but with pea. She call pea salad. She really likes it. But I made it with the ditalini pasta. I usually use frozen peas because they hold up better than canned peas. They're not as mushy. So I use the ditalini pasta, frozen peas. I usually chop up some olives. What else is in that thing? Some cheese, uh, mayo, obviously. But yeah, it's basically a pasta salad with peas and a few other things. I'm not sure why I made it the first year. I think I was just kind of experimenting with something, and it turned out that she likes it because I thought it was just going to be a one-off. Now I've been making it every year for I can't remember how many years now. And there are specific salads that my wife always makes it that she loves. Oh gosh, can't remember now. There's cranberry salad and what I call Martian puke. I was like a pistachio salad, but it's green. So I call it Martian puke. Anyway, uh, my wife assures me that I'm not as funny as I think I am, but I beg to differ. Martian puke. Oh God. Uh, and a 5 cup. We've always had a 5 cup here. Some folks call them ambrosia salad. They're very similar. Not quite the same, but they're very similar. But my mom always made it when I was a kid, and when my wife and I got married, we started making that, and everybody likes it. But like I said, it's just she's got stuff for that too. Like I said, it's just going to be the two of us. And now we end up making like 6 different salads, and you got all kinds of crap here. But we do make a lot to send down there. So that's a lot of stuff we make because we got to get it to her. She's got to have that stuff she grew up with because the other side isn't fixing it. Well, hey, Rod, how are you, bud? Good to hear from you. I'll just sit that down, pick up this beer for a minute. I realized my whiskey was getting low. As I get talking and drinking, and it just becomes something else. Anyways, as we approach Thanksgiving, yeah, I don't know. I do have a turkey. I will say that I do have a small turkey. I just don't know if I'll fix it for Thanksgiving anyway. But frankly, I don't know if I'll fix it for Christmas. It may just be something that gets done and we'll part it out, right? Cut off the breast for sandwiches. I've done that before though, taking that turkey and just cut it apart. Use the legs for stock. Roast the thighs. Make soup, dumpling, or chicken and dumplings, or chicken noodle soup, or something, or both, or hot chicken sandwiches. And use the breasts, cook the breasts separately for sandwiches and turkey salad later. So I don't know. I did that one year because I just didn't want to cook a whole turkey. So yeah, there's been times I've just kind of parted it out since it is just the wife and I. I hadn't thought about doing that till just this second. Though, yeah, there's been times before where I've just cut the one breast off and roasted that for us for dinner, and then use the other stuff for other things. And I may do something like that if we do a turkey. I'm not in the mood to really just cook a bird, to be honest with you. Just drinking cheap light beer. Hey man, but we all get by the way we can, right? I'm not going to mess with anybody else's coping mechanisms. Whatever you got to do to survive the holidays, I'm okay with. Because there are times, sometimes the holidays are rough for the wife and I. So you got to find any way you can just to cope and get through. Do our Thanksgiving on Saturday. Go to smoke a turkey. That's awesome. So there's been times I've smoked back, when our kids were younger. I'd have to do two turkeys because I'd want to smoke one, but I'm such a gravy junkie that I would have to have, so I would usually smoke the smaller of the two and then, traditionally roast the other one so I can have, drippings for gravy. But I love smoked turkey, yeah. See, now you put another idea in my head. I might have to, uh, smoke some of that turkey. Use the legs for stock. Cut the thighs off if you smoke the thighs. Could smoke the breast, but my wife likes them done a specific way. So I want to use it for sandwiches and chicken salad. She's not into the smoke as much as I am. Because I love the smoke, baby. I love the smoke, but I would smoke everything. I've got a bit of a smoking Jones, man. Yeah, I love to smoke. But it's starting to get cool in my neck of the woods. I imagine it probably is in your neck of the woods too. Oh, mercy. I should have poured a little bit of the other one to a side by side, but I mean I can really taste the differences between these two particular whiskeys. This one here, that I again, if it wasn't in the exact same bottle with the label, I wouldn't have thought they were the same whiskeys because they don't drink anything alike. I mean, not at all. It's not even close. Um, the bottle I have is much spicier, and again, it just shows you how much just the barrel can change everything. That's why single barrel products are very interesting because you never know what you might get. You might expect a whiskey to taste a specific way, but single barrel, it's a whole other animal. Yeah, mine too. My wife isn't a huge fan, and in fact, I've had to really kind of tone stuff down. Uh, I use less hickory. I use more fruit wood because that leaves a lighter smoke, and I don't smoke it for as long because I like that smoke, but she doesn't as much as I do. So see, for me, it's almost like a what's the word I'm looking for? Aphrodisiac, right? It's not just it's the smell. Looking at that ring when you cut it, I mean, that whole thing just gets me excited like nobody's business. I get so excited, man. Anyway, it is odd though that this whiskey just drinks so completely different from the other one. Wow. Because I remember when I bought this, I was telling my friend about it, and I said, "Man, I loved it," and he said he didn't like it much at all. And I was describing the flavors I was getting, and he said, "No, that's not what it tastes like." And he was describing the flavors and aromas he was getting. I said, "No, that's not what it tastes like." And then we both kind of overlooked the fact that it says single barrel right here. It does say single barrel. And when I got both of them together and had them side by side, I said, "Oh, I get it now. They're single." Took a little bit for. So I met as soon as that light went off in my head. I sent him a picture of both of them, and I messaged him and he said it was like the light went on and too for him. It's oh yeah, I didn't realize they are two completely different whiskeys. The Doppeldunkel. Yeah, this beer is just really good, man. There's two owners at Banter Brewing. One of them handles the business and the other one does all of the brewing. And I tell you, Brian that does all the does brewing. He's rather amazing. He's almost like a savant because you can see the wheels turn. And he's always he's always thinking what can I do next. But what's also great about him though is he talks to the folks that come in and get their ideas because there's been beers that he didn't or even styles that he wasn't sure about brewing and the feedback from the brewery was something else. So um, the point is that he recently did a saison. But before he brewed it, he wasn't really sure that he wanted to. He didn't know how much it would sell, and there's one particular a customer that comes in all the time, and he was telling me that he was certain it would sell. He really likes the saison, so he asked me about it. And I said, I'm telling you, it'll sell. So he did a nice 6.5% saison, and it was just gorgeous. And it just sold out quicker than he had thought. And a beer that was intended to be a one-off is going to get brewed again because, again, it was just so popular. There was a beer he did back in the summer called M80. The deal with the M80 is it was never supposed to happen, right? It was a beer that was just supposed to be a light, an American style lager. It was going to be just part of it wasn't going to be by itself. It was just going to be part of a shandy or a component in a shandy, I should say. But something happened, and it was supposed to be a collaboration with another brewery, but it wasn't able to happen. So he had this 6% American style lager that he wasn't sure what to do with, and he gave me a taste of it, and I said, Brian, just put it on as is. I'm telling you, it'll sell. Tom, are you sure? I said, Brian, those of us of a certain age will buy this beer for a lot of different reasons. I'm telling you, it will sell. So he put that beer on, even though he wasn't really crazy about it, and it went so fast because it was the perfect summer beer, right? It did use some flaked corn, but it was just done so impeccably well. It just flew out of there. Because there are folks that just want every once in a while you want that beer you remember, right? It was like kinder, gentler Old English, right? It was like kinder, gentler Schlitz malt liquor. Wow, it was just so good. And again, when it was like 100 degrees outside, you drink that beer. Oh man, it just went down, baby. All right, let me wrap this up. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker. Purveyor wisdom, and yeah, I wanted to have this one while the other whiskey was still fresh in my mind. The differences are just incredible to me. This whiskey has those huge spice notes, man. It's just amazing. I don't know if I mentioned vanilla earlier. You're definitely going to find some caramel, more so caramel than a toffee in this one, but again, a lot of brown sugar because you're definitely going to feel some molasses and a little bit of maple as well. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate you tuning in. Have a good one, bud. Oh. Jason, how are you, man? Hadn't heard from you in a bit. Hope you're doing all right, sir. As I finish up my doppeldunkel, I may do one more video this evening. We'll see. Um, was in a lot of pain this evening, so sometimes I have to choose what direction I want to go. Right? Do I want to have a muscle relaxer, or do I want to have some alcohol? And I decided to go with some alcohol this evening. I usually do on the weekend. Uh, I did work yesterday. I was in a lot of pain. I was very stiff. Once I had a little bit of alcohol, now I feel better. But there are side effects. I ain't gonna lie. Oh mercy. So I hope everybody out there has a nice Thanksgiving. I know the holidays are tough for most of us. I was going to say for some people, but I think in some way the holidays, as we get into Christmas and or Thanksgiving and then into Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus. I don't care. I think there's always that pressure, and then there's always other things. That a lot of us are dealing with grief in some way, so it becomes hard to deal with. You just gotta find a way to keep going, I guess. I was talking with someone today about it, and the different stages of grief, and I said it just boils down to, so you have these folks that just don't understand, and they'll tell you need to get over it, or give you those usual platitudes, give you those usual platitudes. And I said it just boils down to, you either find a way to keep going or you don't, and it's really that simple. You got to find a reason to keep going forward, or you don't. And there is no getting over anything. Grief is grief. You find a way to move forward, or you don't. Well, Jason, you hit a certain age and everything just hurts all the time. It's funny. I had knee surgery back in June, and before I had that surgery done, all of my focus was on that knee because it just hurt so bad all the time. But now that the knee's fixed and the knee's doing great, now I'm noticing the other pains that I was kind of overlooked. They were always there, but I really wasn't focused on them because the knee hurt so bad. It's like that old adage, you got a headache. When somebody dropped a brick on your toe, you'd forget about that headache because now the toe hurts. So it's kind of the same thing, is that knee hurts so bad all the time that I really wasn't focused on the other, the other pains, arthritis in the hands, the hips, um, yeah, the other things. So now oh gosh, that does hurt now. you know? But anyway, comparatively, it's minor league compared to how much that knee hurt all of the time. Uh, and that's a fine beer, that is, Martha. Anyways, anyways, I digress. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom man. I'm also Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and biscuits and gravy. All around good guy. Sláinte.